Mark Speaks. Welcome again to Mark Speaks. Y'all know how I do, dropping information, giving as much, cooking the books with a whole new meaning, right? Giving a whole new meaning to cooking these books. So me and my lady was talking the other day, right? And we were discussing whether or not if someone has been practicing for, let's say, 20, 25, 30 years as some kind of relationship doctor, right? Some kind of psychological doctor. They have like various degrees. They got all the academic accolades. They have the posh office and they're well polished, right? 30 years in practice. Got the PhD behind their name or in front of their name. They got the doctorate, all of that stuff, right? But they've never been married. They've never been married, and they're not they don't have any children, but they have all the accolades. Like they're walking, talking geniuses. Should you take advice from them in terms of relationships? Well, my lady's like, yeah, she's open to that. And so most people probably are, right? And I could tell that you guys are probably guessing by my tone and the things I'm saying that I'm not. And you're damn right, I'm not. I would rather go talk to Ray Ray, who lives around the corner, that's been with his Boquisha chick for 15, 20, 10 years, living in the hood with like 3, 4, 4 or 5 kids. Because to me, Ray Ray going to be able to tell me something based off experience. Now, the doctor got all the accolades, all the academic, institutional, educational accolades. Ray Ray has none of that, but he has experience. And the point I'm trying to make, no disrespect to Ray Ray or the Boquishas out there, but, the point I'm trying to make is that I'd rather talk to a person who's been in a relationship for one day than talk to somebody who has a 30-year degree and never been in any kind of meaningful relationship. So, I just wanted to share that with you guys. And, obviously, you can leave comments on what your take is, but I don't think you should be talking to anybody who is not living it. Because to me, experience always, right, supersedes or overrides reading something out of a book, right? So I don't care. I need you to have some kind of, if you've been, boots on the ground, hands on the wheel, taking the bull by the horn, you got to have your hands got to be messy. You got to be in it to tell me how to do it. You got to have, you don't have to be married 25, 30, 40 years, but have some time where you got a monogamous relationship and it's semi-successful. I'll take semi-successful, right? Because I understand the realities of life, that it's very difficult and a lot of people don't have it all together. So I'll take someone who's semi-successful, and have some kind of credentials, and their advice to me was carries more weight. There's some credibility. There's more substance. It's qualitative, right? It's not just quantitative. The guy who sits at the desk who has the accolades is quantitative, right? He has a lot of information because he's read a lot of books and he's well schooled. He's polished and well groomed. But he ain't been married at all. So to me, you can't tell me anything about maintaining a marital relationship. He doesn't have any children. You can't tell me anything about raising children. I don't care how many books you read about child rearing or marital maintenance. I don't care how many books you read. I need somebody who actually been under the hood. I could look and see the oil on their, you see the fingers. You look at the mechanic fingers, right? You see all the oil, the oil in his fingernails and cute tissue. I need to see some of that in your hands. I need to see that you have been through it, and therefore you can now guide me or give me some information on how I can handle it. So that's just my take on it. I don't believe no one who has never maintained any kind of a relationship where there's some substance there can tell me how I should maintain mine. I go lay on your couch or give you my insurance company to pay for an hour for you to tell me how to maintain my marital relationship or my whatever, courting relationship or just dating relationship. And you yourself have zilch, have none. All you have is a whole bunch of fancy, pictures on your wall certifying you and saying that you're a scholar. And that might be well and fine. That's fine. I have no problem. I'm not knocking that. I'm not I'm not knocking that. I'm not saying that you're not a scholar. For all intents and purposes, you are a scholar. But for the intents and purpose of marital issues and telling me how I could fix mine, I don't think you're qualified. So that's just my take. All right. You got to live it. That's my take. You got to live it before you can give it. So you got to live that life before you can give me that life, right? You got to live it. You got to be able to live it, be somewhat semi-successful at it. You know, you got to have your heart had been ripped out, broken, thrown down to the floor. Like, I've been through a divorce. You know, I've had a divorce in my life, and I've been through that. So I would say, you know, I could tell somebody about that because I've been through that. Rough, rugged, right? So to me, it's like, you got to have, if you ain't never have your heart broken, ripped out, stepped on, you know, I done been cheated on, all kind of crazy stuff, right? Like, you got to go through something. If you ain't never been through none of that, you know, find your woman, you know, running around on the street with another dude. I mean, like, I've experienced that kind of stuff. It is what it is. There ain't no shame in my game. If you ain't never go through that, then I'm not saying you have to go through that. That's not normal shit. Let's be clear. That's not normalcy. What I am saying, though, is if I'm going to advise someone on dealing with broken hearts, I have to have my heart broken before. If I'm going to advise someone on how to bounce back or not snap and lose it and take her and him out when you, you know, if you catch them with some, it would be better if I had went through that. Because by going through it, I was able to self-regulate, maintain my sanity, and control myself, and whatever I did worked. So now there's some credibility and credentials in terms of now passing that on to somebody who's going through it. So my thing is, I always believe, like, you know, you don't have to go through exactly what I've been through, but if you're going to tell me about maintaining a relationship and this and that, like, at least show me that you have a track record, right? If I'm, like I told you in my last video, I invest in the stock market for my clients, and one of the things we do is, me and my client, we'll look at a company's prospectus, right? We'll look at the prospectus, which is pretty much just overall general review of what the company does. We'll look at the balance sheet. We'll go back 10 years, 5 years if there's a history. You know, we'll look at profit and loss. We'll look at their profit margins. We'll look at debt to income ratios. We look at all the different numbers, and we decide whether we want to invest and get into bed with this company or not, right? So, and that's called doing your due diligence. So my thing is, like, you know, if you're going to advise me on something, I need to do my due diligence on you. I need to make sure that you have the background, you have the backing on the specificity of which you're getting ready to tutor me on. You're about to tutor me on something specific. So I need to make sure I do my due diligence and see that you have a track record, right? Let me see your quarterly reports, right? Your semi-annual reports. Let me see your projections. What are your forecasting? What are your guidance? I need to look at all this before I invest my psychological currency in your bank. It's the same principle. So my thing is, like I said, if you ain't live it, if you ain't been through it, I'm not impressed. Till next time, Mark, cooking books with a whole new meaning.